All right, Keith, for a summer league game, today's was pretty entertaining. Overtime, back and forth. The Warriors overcame a 12-point deficit in the last 5 minutes.
Well, playing Sacramento always has some interesting games, even in the regular season, and no different than summer league. We had a pretty spirited game last year with them, but our guys played well. They didn't hang their heads at being down at halftime, and got themselves back in a position to get the game into overtime. And of course, our big two right now with Curry and with Randolph, they played really well, made some big time plays. Randolph made some big time blocks, kind of set the tone as we came back on the floor in the second half.
Talk a little bit about the matchup of the 2 point guards who are both high draft picks, or not necessarily point guards, but guards who are high draft picks, and Tyreke Evans and our Stephen Curry, their little individual battle they had going.
Well, they both did what their strengths allowed them to do. Where Evans, we knew we were going to be a hard cover, a drive guy who's going to get to the basket no matter what. And he also made some pull-up three-point shots, so you see that the growth with him is going to eventually be pretty good as well. And Curry just made plays because Curry is still trying to run his basketball team, make plays for other players. So both of them played particularly well, and they both stayed into what it is they do that got them the attention of being drafted to the NBA.
Yeah, I just read on ESPN.com a couple of minutes ago where a writer for ESPN said that Anthony Randolph is by far and away the best player in this league after the first 2 days, and just how he's done a little bit of everything from his mid-range shot to rebounding to running the floor. Are you surprised in the leap that he's made just like in the last 6 months?
We all are surprised, but it all started with how Coach Nelson thought that he needed to be handled, and that was to limit his playing time and eventually take that away to get him to understand how important it was to work as an NBA player. Then once he got that, of course, with all the injuries, he started playing well down the stretch. And then the biggest thing for him in his growth and maturity was that he made a decision to come back early, 2 or 3 weeks after the season was over, to start working on his body with the weights and with his skill work and his jump shots and his ball handling. And so now you see all that coming together. But it all started with the conversations he and Coach had, and then also the drive that he has, and then eventually a will to want to work.
And finally, the last question is that this Curry got off to a little bit of a slow start in the first half today. How impressed were you with his, I guess, resiliency might be the best word, of coming out in the second half, not letting that first half bother him and hitting some big shots down the stretch?
Right, well, I lit into him a little bit in the halftime, the team. And I also had to be careful in watching how Curry was handling and seeing all that. And one thing he did, at the time of I was doing that, he was looking me right in the face. So the young man understood that it wasn't so much about how he was playing, but how the team was playing. And eventually got himself going, got our team going, and we pulled out the win.
Keith, this question comes from Nicholas Castaneda, Warrior fan from the Bay Area. And he asked, in regards to the summer league, is there some pressure to play guys like Randolph, Morrow, and Curry more minutes than the other guys?
Well, that question is a valid question, but we know what our summer league is for. The summer league is here because of our draft picks and the players that we had that played for us last year. This is not a free agent league for us. This is the league for our young players to play in. So there really isn't any pressure. We want these guys playing heavy minutes in the summer because ultimately most rookies won't play a whole lot once the season starts, but we want to give them a jump start so when they're ready to come back into veteran camp. You can see the example of Randolph playing last year in the summer, a lot of minutes, got a chance to play some this year, and then the summer league that he's having now. So that holds true, that the pressure is not so much to play them, but we want to get these guys ready to play when we have vet camp.